Unknown gunmen attack Tompolo'S boat in Bayelsa. Tompolo is a Niger-Delta ex-militant that the federal government has given the power and authority to secure pipelines and to go and fish out people responsible for the stealing of the Nigerian oil in the Niger-Delta area. I'm sure some other militants that are not benefiting from this contract are out for him, but he knows them, they know themselves. Now them. Let's see how it goes. A speedboat operated by Tantita Security Services Nigeria Limited, led by government Ekpemupolo, popularly known as Tompolo, has been attacked by some unknown gunmen. Politics Nigeria learned that the attackers made away with the boat's 200 horsepower engine. The incident happened on Saturday at Alibiri community in Ekremo local government area of Bayelsa State, a few hours after the traditional prime minister of Tuomo Kingdom in Delta State, Chief Mike Loyibo, and his team paid a visit to Henry Azazi, the new coordinator of Alibiri unit. It occurred yesterday in Alibiri, a nearby community in Bayelsa State. We've started a search operation to find the 200 horsepower engine and boat after they fled. We will recover it by any means necessary because we know who did it, a source at the Tuomo community said. Tantita is the company that recently won a multi-billion contract from the federal government to protect crude oil pipelines in the Niger-Delta region. So, thief. Like I said earlier, I'm sure the people that are not benefiting from this contract are the ones that came to attack this vessel and made their way with the engine and the boat. And they said they know them and they will go after them. They know who did it, So again, now them. Again, it's not their fault. It's the federal government that has failed, because how can individual, an ex-militant for that matter, begin to perform the duty of Nigerian Navy, Nigerian Air Force, the Nigerian Army, and the Marine Police? So how has Nigeria, degraded to a point that now a job that the entire military force of a country cannot do is only one local person, an ex-militant, that can do it, and they give him that contract? This must be a democratic settlement, a political settlement, so that he can hold that place tight. Again, another form of kill and divide, so that by the time he's favored, he can go and expose all other things happening in that place in favor of the sitting government. So they bought him. They used that contract to buy him so that he will expose the area. Unfortunately, he has another rivalry there, Asari Dokuba in Bayelsa, who is also talking from both sides of the mouth almost every day, very wide. We don't even know. People are already saying probably he is involved in that attack because he feels he's the king and should have such contract, So rivalry might set in while that contract lasts. So, but let's see how it goes. Some people are already airing their opinion here. Somebody saying it's Tompolo from Rivers or Bayelsa. Well, I think it's between Bayelsa and Delta. Tompolo must be from Delta State, actually. Tompolo is from Delta State. But again, when we talk about the main Niger-Delta people, we'll talk about the Delta, the Bayelsa, and the rivers. Even though we have Akwa Ibom there, we have Cross Rivers. We also have part of Ondo under the Niger-Delta axis as well, especially around the water line. So Tompolo is doing a great job. God will expose those behind the attacks. Well, this must be a government person that the job Air Force, Navy, Army, Marine Police cannot do. One person is doing it and say he's doing a great job. So it means that this Tompolo can overpower our military as well, or probably now stronger than our military. A very serious irony. Okay. So Nigeria is a failed state, a country where an individual is doing the work of our military men. That's what somebody is saying here. APC government lack what it takes to salvage the system. So they empower this man with with everything to go and expose the people doing, and it's going to be a very tough war for Tompolo, because if you are a Niger-Delta person or who has lived around that waterside, the Jaw Creek area, you will see that bunkering is not done by one person, and bunkering is not done by a meager person, somebody that is very small. Bunkering is done by people who sometimes are in authority. They have backups. They have elites that are supporting them. They have everything, both financial, material, and resource support is there. Oil stealing is a very big deal, and I wonder how Tompolo will fight this war, because if he's going to fight it honestly, it shouldn't be like EFCC are leaving all the big people in politics and in government stealing our naira, with bullion van, with impunity and authority all around, and stealing them, and then the EFCC will leave them and go for Yahoo boys. I don't say Yahoo is a good one, but you leave the big thief and go for the small thief that you can use to shine. That's what EFCC is doing. So it's the same thing that Tompolo is going to do. He's going to leave the big people that are sponsoring this oil theft, oil stealing, and then be going for small boys that are driving their fishing canoe and carrying jerrycan inside their canoe. That is what he's going to do. Since he started this, how many people have been arrested? How many people has he brought to the book? And how many people has government identified and arrested since he started it? Or has oil theft actually reduced or stopped since he started this? That's a question that this government need to answer. It is obvious now that the unknown government has a link to Asari Dokubo. Quote me wrong, or you are then daft and can't read in between the lines. Yeah, like I said earlier, a lot of people are already suspecting Asari Dokubo, who is actually talking with his wide mouth open everywhere in Bayelsa. He has been saying all rubbish against Biafra, against the IPOB. Now a contract came by his side and went to Tompolo, and he is parading himself as the king there with all his AK-47 around him, and government cannot even go close to him. So I wonder the kind of corruption, the kind of banditry, the kind of insurgency that this government is fighting, when they actually have individuals with certain amount of AK-47 assault rifle that's supposed to be in the armory of the military. Individuals are possessing them and flaunting them authoritatively, publicly, and you can't arrest them. And what you do is to pass back and bribe them and probably give them some contract to calm their nerves so they can have your way. I wonder where this APC government is getting us to. Militants are spread all around Niger-Delta, all the way to Ondo and Lagos State. Tompolo is fighting bunkering activities which are done by militants and sponsored by the elites. All right? It is normal. It is normal for corruption to fight back. The attack could have been carried out by any of his many enemies. By the way, for the records, Asari operates in the Kalabari Axis. He doesn't have business with even Okrika Waters in River State. Talk more of going to Bayelsa to operate. Well, this is what this person is saying, but corruption fighting back corruption. This has always been. That was the excuse of APC when they came into power in 2015. That corruption is fighting back, and now corruption has overpowered them because they can't fight back. The whole thing is still skyrocketing. So this is what is happening at Niger-Delta with the fight against bunkering, fight against oil theft. I wonder how and when and where this fight will get to, at the end of it. Let's see what will be the benefit of this huge, humongous contract to Tompolo, and what will be the outcome at the end of the day, whether the outcome will be the expected outcome or a different outcome. We don't know. Like I said earlier, we've not seen anybody that has been brought to book. Nobody has been arrested. All right? And meanwhile, the theft has not been, we can't say the theft has been reduced. There's no proof to that yet. So, right, that is what is happening with fighting against oil theft in Niger-Delta area. Put your comment below, and let's also hear your view. Thank you.